You were very candid in a book that you wrote, Life is Not an Accident, and your battle with depression. DeMar DeRozan has spoken out about a similar situation, and that actually was cited by Kevin Love in that essay on the Players Tribune as one of his inspirations for writing about this. So when you see this, and you see this piece by Kevin Love, what makes you think why this is becoming such a discussed topic right now amongst athletes?
I'm glad it really is. As a male, we live in a world, think about it, from the time you're a little boy, when you fall down and you start crying. Nope, don't cry.
Right.
God, we don't cry. Like, we're tough. We're tough
Right.
guys. And I think within sports, that is heightened exponentially. You're not supposed to show signs of weakness on the court. That makes you vulnerable to your opponent, right? When they see you flare up temper-wise, whatever it may be, your opponent can take advantage of that. I think when it comes to life, it's the complete opposite. The more vulnerable Kevin Love is, the more vulnerable DeMar DeRozan is, it humanizes them. And I think people automatically put them in a position, well, you're an athlete, you make millions of dollars, you're not normal, you're just not like us. Well, the reality is, I mean, Biggie Smalls made a song about that, more money, more problems, right? I think there's struggles in all facets of life. I think the more that people can openly talk about some of the demons that they have and how they have to deal with them, not only make them more relatable to the everyday person, but also it helps them become more relatable to themselves. It's empowering to yourself when you openly are able to talk about the scars that you have, because then you're able to take that, I'm no longer a victim. I'm not a victim anymore. I'm a guy that's understanding that I have issues that I'm working on, and I'm strengthened by my issues because we all do have them.
You talked about how, as boys, when they become men, kind of deal with emotion differently and not really coached on how to do that. Look, we saw with LeBron, and I believe it was an Instagram thing, fit in or fit out with Kevin Love. There's a locker room sort of mentality in this within any sport. How does that manifest itself when you have different types of people, different different backgrounds? How can it all work?
You know, I was reading an article about Kobe, and he was talking about how he had to learn through the process of the evolution of leadership. And he said that, you know, not only did he have to empathize with his opponents, because when you empathize with your opponents, you're able to tap into their weaknesses a little bit more, but he had to empathize with his own teammates. And I think as we all continue to evolve in that leadership perspective, even LeBron James, I think now that you have this written piece and you read it, and maybe you didn't have that moment with Kevin Love where he confided in you for a moment like that, but now you understand who your teammate is even more. It's going to make that bond like this, because now it gives LeBron and other people more information on how to have dialogues with Kevin Love,
right?
How to understand what he goes through, and then now how do we pivot on how I speak to him or convey a message to build him up instead of maybe the way I was going about it before broke him down. And I think now once somebody's able to provide a blueprint, it better helps you navigate that uncharted territory.
Before the Cavs won the title, they acquired a couple guys, including Channing Frye, in a book by Dave McMenamin and Brian Windhorst. They talked about how Frye was really the glue because he loosened people up. He had gone through some heart illness, and he was really what got Kevin Love out of his shell and helped them win the title that year. So it's amazing how all these personalities can come together.
And the beautiful thing about it, nobody is perfect. Nobody has all the answers. We're still all learning on the fly in this big game of life. And hopefully by Kevin Love and other athletes continuing to do the same, they're going to help empower not only people out there across the world, but more importantly, they'll empower themselves to speak up even more on this issue.
Mental health has certainly been in the spotlight the last few months, and also here now in the NBA with Kevin Love, DeMar DeRozan, and our own Jay Will shedding some light here.